And I'm using the AI to try to teach me something that I, as a human, are more capable of doing than the AI. It's like music, you know, you can hear that it is artificial, that there's something going on. Galdring is different. Galdring is, it's sacred, you know, it's a vibration, it's a frequency of the fucking universe, if one is to believe the myth. Hello, Shady. So I figured I'm going to look into that, and I think that because I have the drum, which I call Bob, I'm able to play a lot more with it than I could have without it. I'm not sure if you can do it with the horn, but I'm going to figure out some stuff. I figure I'm going to just read through this now as a foundation and then go from there. Galdring is the act of singing, chanting, or intoning magical formulas, or galdrar, from the Norse tradition. It's not just spellcasting, it's a vibration of will into the fabric of the world. When done with intention, alignment, and presence, galdring becomes a frequency technology, a way of weaving sound, breath, and word into energy that alters states, realities, and destinies. I've seen in many places, many situations, that with certain tones and notes and sounds over a period of time, you can unleash shit in people. I saw a Kundalini awakening that looked like a exorcism took place. Like spine going backwards and shit. It was intense, and I was actually quite fearful for the health of the person who had this awakening. But it got pretty clear afterwards that it was activated by a very specific thing, and that's what I've been on a quest to figure out more of after that. The core elements of Galdring. Sound as spell. The voice is your wand. Every syllable is a rune. Every breath carries a force. It's about vibrating truth into being. Runes as blueprints. Galdring often focus on runes, each with their own energetic signature. When sung or intoned, they awaken and summon these forces within and around you. And then the intent is everything. Unlike mindless repetition, true Galdring requires full soul presence. It's not performance. It's evocation. Body as a temple. Galdring is embodied. Posture, breath, spine, even the setting. These all matter. The voice must travel through an aligned channel. Ooh, this is getting better and better and better and better. Types of Galdring. Personal Galdring. Chanting for protection, focus, healing, and transformation. Ceremonial Galdring is used in ritual spaces, especially at fire ceremonies, burial sites, initiations, or seasonal gateways. Combat Galdring. Historically, some warriors would galdr before battle to enter altered states or to curse and freeze their enemies. Probably after having eaten some amanita muscaria, am I right? Collective Galdring. Ooh. Shared chanting, where multiple voices blend into one field, often opening portals of group transformation. I have no fucking doubt. I was wondering what would happen if you had 4 horns in a circle. Stick with me on this. And then what happens if you have 400 horns blowing out towards the ocean in one harmonizing tone? I guess hopefully we're going to find out someday, because I want to see that. Galdring the Anzus. Anzus. Interesting. This opens the throat. It tunes the breath and calls in divine communication. It clears the channel and invites the Allfather's whisper. Well done there. A little at the end. Modern usage. For someone like 𝗏𝗏, Galdring is a living bridge, connecting the mythic past with the transformational present. When you Galdr, you're not pretending to be a Viking. You're remembering the ancient role of the voice wielder. The voice wielder. I like that. I like the sound of that. In spaces like Ceremony Mountain, the fire, drum, and horn are the triad, but Galdr is the signal. It aligns the group. It calls the unseen. It grounds the space. It is spellwork, sound healing, and somatic initiation in one. Ooh, getting all tingle-like. Let's see, would you like to dive into crafting a specific Galdr for Vandarkar or tribe protection? Building a Galdring practice for daily alignment? Or myth-weaving a tale around the Galdersmith? Galdersmith. It's kind of hard to say, to just say, but I don't hate that. Galdersmith. I was wondering, and I feel like going and grabbing my drum. Should I do so? Should I do so? Let me know where you want to steer the current. It could have gone with frequency or something on that one, to be honest. Should I go and pick up my drum and start to practice Galdring? Ansus. Raido. Is it just to say the runes? And then, of course, each rune has its specific meaning. Each rune has a geometrical shape and frequency and all that stuff. What would happen if you have the frequency? As soon as I have like thoughts of a speakerphone or something technological in my brain, it's like, but that's artificial. That would kill the vibe, quite literally. I don't know. But having someone being able to kind of find that, like a frequency, how do you test for frequency? Like if I was to, I need to find this tool. There's definitely something that I can use to just see what kind of frequency does the horn blow at? What kind of frequency can I make with this sound of my face? What kind of frequency does this rune make if I say it like this? So many questions. I didn't have this many questions just a few moments ago, but now here I am. And you know why? Do you want to know why? You want me to tell you why? I have had experiences today. One person said he loved me and then asked me if I wanted to have some methamphetamines. But it was the story that came before, during, and after that took me by surprise. Because he was not just any person. He was the first person that I visited after I started doing this whole thing. Many, 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 many moons ago. Even years ago. God, I was driving the Audi, and that is a long time ago. But point was, he wanted to die. And when I came, he had an intention. He wanted me to do it. But throughout the whole visit, it was more like, dude, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it yourself. Which kind of sparked something, because nobody really wants to do that. And when he started to see that spark, whatever it was, that desire not to go through with it, something shifted, and that was many, many years ago. So I met him today, and the first thing he does is, I love you. Of course, we're not in the habit of meeting each other like that at that hour in this city, but it's fascinating. We sat down, we talked, and he spoke a language of, it's a way of speaking that many people don't, because it comes from a very dark place. And it's not that it's bad, it's not that it is negative, it's that it's created by pain, and he has gone through enough of it to feel like he didn't have anything more to give. He was literally going to end it. But something shifted when he decided not to, and now he was speaking in a language that was very frequential and very open towards different perspectives and insights that I've only heard from my own experiences and those who've had similar experiences and other people who have researched these types of experiences and found different things theoretically and scientifically, experimentally, but not experientially. Like they haven't had the thing that experienced that made that natural common sense, or the logical, the inner standing, some shamans would say. The inner standing. So you're understanding something, but from a very natural knowing, if that makes sense. So he was talking about this and different levels, different specific numerical levels and insights that he had from that. And then he shouted out into the void something that I don't want to repeat, simply because of the respect of what he said. Something to be said about those moments, and it just made me think. So he said, dude, there is something within you. There is a frequency, there is an energy, there is an igniter within you. And I know, I've seen this with many people, most people, and especially around campfires, especially with set and setting. So now, given how many people needs a fire, needs this whole reset, I'm going to go and plan a fire. But for that fire, I wanted to know about Galdring. I wanted to see if I could be able to not just sing, drum, doing all the things that we usually do, but intuitively feel a frequency that I can form with my face, if that makes sense. For many people, it won't. For many people, you will be fucking like, oh my God, he needs help. We need to call someone so he can get his synthetical medication. God damn. I talked to Marius today. Marius, Christ, as I call him, with love. He is going through withdrawals because he stopped the medication that he was put on. And now, because he feels tired, exhausted, in a wrong setting with the wrong people around him, not being supported, and also just reminded that you're here because you have a problem, and also that you need to be medicated for that problem. Take your pills. He is ready to get out. So we're going to figure out where we can set up camp and have that camp. More like permanently temporary. Instead of having the car drive around all over, I have 2 cars. I can fix up the other car maybe. It's going to require a fuck ton of stress, but we have to do what we can do with what we have. So basically, find a place where we can set up a campfire and a camp, a literal camp, maybe even with electricity. And then we can create food and stuff on that location. And then we can have people coming in. But the most important thing is to have Marius Christ's nervous system to chill the fuck out and then be able to just tune into who he really is and do what he does best, which is fucking healing people just by presence, which is a energy that it's hard to explain, to be honest. You have warm hands, and then you have people who just know things, and they work with energy without them knowing that they do, almost. It's natural, and it's fascinating. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I love to talk back and forth and have things that I can spin off. Now I've talked for, 10 minutes? Just for my thoughts. I'm going to do more lives and hopefully engage people to speak up and then see if they can start sharing their voice, because I think it's extremely important these days. I think that most people suffer because they don't know how to say hi to people in bus stops anymore, or just greet people, or look people in the eyes, or just be human with people, because people are fucked these days. We're out of alignment. I have never said that before. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do so, just own the fuck out of a whole new way of talking. But I'm just fed up, and there's a lot of things that's going on, and it's not going to happen until we actually start to do more of what we do, more publicly. This is why this live stream is now public and now not stuffed in some drawer deep within FML3 of the Legacy Forge, you know. I'm scared shitless. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you when I see you. Get people into the Discord server if you care about mental health and want them to feel better and all that stuff, because we do things not just in types of natural medicine and all that stuff, but also everything that we provide collectively and experientially, and with what's coming, the doctors that has interesting things to say. God damn, there's a lot. Love your face.